What's going on, guys? Spoilers290 coming at you with another video that I'm actually talking in. As you can see here, I got MLB The Show a little earlier. I got the MVP edition, so I get it 4 days earlier. I've had about almost 24 hours played in it so far, so I'm going to give you guys my impressions. At least with like franchise stuff. I don't really do Diamond Dynasty, and the servers have been down for most of this first day, so they've had some server issues, but I think they're finally getting it fixed and whatever. But when it comes to franchise presentation, gameplay, I'll just give you guys like my impressions and my thoughts, what I like mostly. There isn't really anything as much I dislike, other than I wish they would have added a little bit more to franchise. This year it kind of seemed more, there's like a lot more Diamond Dynasty stuff it seemed like they added this year. March to October, which I play a little bit of, not too much. I play mostly just franchise. They added some stuff to March to October, like you can do multiple years now instead of just one. I haven't even got through my second game in March of October yet, or March to October. So I can't really give my impressions on that just yet until I get into like the multi-year feature that they added. But they added free agent signings and stuff like that. They added like kind of like the card animations that they have for Diamond Dynasty for top 25 free agency sign. Sorry, I got distracted. So one thing that kind of stands out to me first is the presentation. They added a lot of different stuff this year when it comes to presentation. As you can hear a little bit, they have new announcers. No more Matt Vasgersian and the crew, which is a little sad. But this new group of I believe it's Jonathan Sciambi or something like that. I can't remember exactly. And Chris Singleton, they call him Singy, and Boog. They are quite exciting, and they kind of just bounce off each other really well, with like their banter and stuff. A lot of great commentary for those two. And you know, obviously, it's not going to be the same as like what they've had the past years. I kind of wish they'd have like what 2K22 has done, where they have Harlan. I can't remember his first name. They have Harlan, and then they have another commentating group, kind of like different channels a little bit. But I do really like these guys. They've done a really good job this year. You hardly get any repeat lines, and you don't have to deal with the line, you know, it's like there's a ball it's carrying, and then it, you know, dies literally before it gets to the warning track. But a lot of different stuff with the presentation. As you can see, they changed the scoreboard. They have a little line in there where in between the teams and the score, you can kind of see it a little bit there. As I'm up 2-1, you can see there's like a blue and a red, and the blue represents my win expectancy over the Cleveland Indians. So obviously right now I'm heavily favored, since it's the bottom of the 7th, and we're up 2-1 with 2 outs. So there's that, and they've added. This is the show presentation, the show theme as they call it, and then they have another one. I can't remember exactly, but this is kind of like what you'd expect from like MLB Network. This would be like an MLB, and here's another thing too, the fan cam, which is a really cool thing. I mean, it's a small thing compared to some other stuff, but you can get like just a look around at the stadium, and you know, kind of get some cinematic shots or something like that if you kind of want to get deep into it. I completely lost track of what I was talking about before that. Oh yeah, they have the show theme, which would be like, you know, the MLB Network kind of thing, what you'd expect from if you were watching an MLB Network broadcast. And then they have like a more local one where it has like an animation, which I'll show later, and like a little montage of the stuff I talk about. Um, they have like animated stuff. So for the Royals, they have you know, the Royals logo, and then water spewing out of it like the fountains, because Kansas City is also known as the city of fountains, and it's also kind of resembles the fountains that are in the outfield at Kauffman. So I thought that's really cool. For Cleveland, they have guitars for, you know, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And then obviously they have the G for the Guardians, which are, you know, new this year. Before they were known as the Indians, and now they're the Guardians. So, but all sorts of stuff, presentation-wise. I like it a lot. It's really good. And another thing that they added, which I think is really cool. It's I mean, another small thing, but I think it's a really cool thing, is they have Google StatCast now, and I know people have talked about it. You know, it's like home runs and stuff. It's kind of like what do you expect from last year? Like, you know, it'll show you the stats of, you know, when you hit a perfect, or a home run. It'll show you the stats of it. But you can also get stats of like pitching. So they'll show you pitch sequences on like 3-pitch strikeouts and stuff like that. Or like one time they did one for me that was a 6-pitch strikeout situation. They'll show you the pitch sequence, and then there's one where they showed, you know, the spin rate of like a slider that I threw or something like that. Like just small stuff like that. Really cool that they added in. And just you know, it's a small thing but a really cool thing. Another thing that I kind of thought of as we just watched someone field fly ball is the perfect throws to bases now. So it's not only just a home and, you know, maybe you're cut off or something like that. You can do it to about anywhere in the outfield. If I think it's like if you have cannon or sniper on your outfielder. So just a cool little thing. Another thing that they added, which really helps you to gun down some of those base runners that are, you know, are trying to get a little too greedy on the base paths. And stuff like that. Just another cool thing that they added. I think that one's obviously a little bit more important than the presentation, but I really do like the presentation this year. They really stepped it up. And just stuff like that. The presentation is amazing, but you know, hopping off the topic of presentation, I'll try to move on to gameplay. And as you guys may have seen just a little bit of, you might see right here. Hold on, I'm accessing the bullpen and gonna put Scott Barlow in to try and close this game out. Right here, you can see the little dots, the little grid, the 3x3 grid of the dots. That is the PCI anchor. So you can set it in one of those dots before your at bat, like before the pitch comes. And I usually set mine really high because I have a hard time trying to keep mine high. And then I can just drop mine, which I have like just a tick of doing. Like I just always drop my PCI. That's a really cool and really good thing that they added, because having your PCI start high for, you know, some people that like me that just drop immediately on a swing really helps, because like if you drop mid swing, you could get, you know, a fastball in the middle a lot easier than, you know, if you're sitting there in the middle with your PCI and you drop and you're swinging at a ball that's in the middle and your PCI is like under the strike zone. So this is a really cool thing that they added. As you guys could hear, like the excitement that they have. They get really excited about base hits, well, which I'll have to show. That's just a really handy thing that they added that that I've enjoyed so far, and it makes hitting way easier, for me at least. So not everyone will probably have to use the PCI anchor as much as I will, but just a good thing that they added for people like me. So there's that. There was another thing I was thinking of right as I was talking about that. Oh yes, the perfect sound, which I know is kind of more of a like a quality of life presentation kind of thing, a little bit. The perfect sound this year has gotten better, and it sounds so good. And same thing with that's mostly with all the sounds. The crowd, I mean, obviously since we just beat the Indians here at home, you're not gonna hear it as much, but I'll try to play a clip later. The crowd gets so loud in this game, and it's so electric. Like it feels like you're either at the stadium or like you're, it feels like how a crowd should feel in some of these moments. If an umpire misses a call for the home team, they're gonna let out a huge collective groan, or they're gonna boo the umpire, and they're gonna be like, and you'll hear the one, lone heckler that'll be like, "Oh, get that out of here! You're kidding me with that," or something like that. Just a cool, just the sounds this year are really good. The back cracks sound so good. The pop of the glove when the ball hits the back of the leather sounds so good, and it's different from the speed of pitch too. When you're a pitcher, if you're throwing a 99 mile per hour fastball compared to an 80 slider or changeup or curveball or something like that, you can hear the sound difference. It's not, popping as loud as you would expect a 100 mile per hour fastball. And I'll show some clips of that later too, without me talking, obviously, of that kind of what that sounds like. But just a great thing that they added for that. Let's see. I've talked about presentation. I've talked about gameplay. Gameplay hasn't changed as much, but it's still, there's a lot of cool stuff that they added in there. So and franchise, it was mostly trying to fix trades and stuff like that. But the contract negotiations, the contract logic is way better this year. Like I remember, there was like a AAA prospect last year, or a AA prospect that I had last year, when I played MLB The Show 21, and their contract would be up, and they had enough service where I could, get them a multi-year deal. So I was like, I'll give them like a 5-year, $15 million deal or something. Or no, it was a 3-year, $15 million deal, which is, obviously is like $5 million. And they hadn't even been effective yet in the big leagues. I just brought them up because I had some injuries and I had to put people on the injury list, and they were just the next best thing I could get without having to trade away my farm. And so they were like leveraging me like they were freaking Juan Soto or Aaron Judge out here, because they're an outfielder, and they were like, they wanted way more money than what I was willing to give them, like for what I would consider a rookie, because I hadn't played, like it was over like a 4 or 5 year span. They hadn't played as much in as many games as someone like Bobby Witt Jr. had for me. So they were asking for way too much money, and the contract, like I never got one done, but they ended up getting like some ridiculous amount from the Astros or something like that, which was like a mad overpay. But the contracts this year are fixed, thank God, because I don't want some AA pitcher coming up to me like, I want $10.5 million a year for 4 years or something ridiculous, because that is some stuff that had happened to me before. So they fixed that, which is great. They fixed the trade logic, which I hadn't really got into yet. I haven't got that far where there isn't really one I wanted to trade or needed to trade for. So I haven't got to that yet, so I can't really speak upon the trade logic, but just glad that they added a lot more stuff this year instead of just kind of keeping the same thing from what they did. For example, like what they did from 20 to 21, like it was about the same really. So I'm glad to see they had more changes in this, and it's a lot more fun to play, you know. And me, who is kind of like, I like realistic sports games, and I know that's like nuts for me to say because I play Madden and stuff, and Madden just has some ridiculous stuff. But like last year for prospects, their faces were like so off or so weird. And as you can see here, this is Bobby Wood Jr. Bobby Wood Jr. did not look like that in MLB The Show 21. So for him to actually have his face in is really cool. Nick Prado had the same thing. MJ Melendez, same thing. Like, it's so cool to see these, prospects in the AAAs and the AA's finally have their faces in this game. And like, yeah, Carlos Hernandez here, you'll see him. Still looks a little weird, but I mean, it's a little bit closer to what his face kind of is. But just, some stuff like that that's really cool, to me at least, that they've added and that they've tuned and fixed. So other than that, there's not really anything. These are just my first impressions. So yeah, I'll shut up now and I'll play some clips of to kind of show you guys what I've been talking about. So hope you guys enjoyed the rest of this video, and I hope you enjoy the other videos that I'll have coming out. So yeah, see you guys soon, and peace.
Next pitch is down. That's in there. The pitch. That one ripped left field, on its way. It's gone over the left field wall. His first homer in the majors, and they're going to have to send somebody to get that ball for him.
Always such a special moment. You know this is one of the biggest thrills of his life. He's got to be floating around the bases right now.
Yeah, he'll remember every detail of that at bat for years, as he should. It's a true once-in-a-lifetime event.
Now, Blue, there's so many times when a young player might wonder if he's ever even going to get to the big leagues and do something like this. Well, he doesn't have to wonder anymore.
I mean, come on. There is no better way to get your big league career started than going deep in your very first at-bat. Right now, he's in cruise control, autopilot, just dominating these hitters. It doesn't look like it's a fun at-bat. And all of a sudden, you become in awe of this guy on the mound. Somebody's got to break this thing up. That's 5 straight strikeouts. Got to put a ball in play.
You need a little length out of this arm coming out of the bullpen. We'll see just how many outs he's able to give his skipper.
And that one is going to go. Salvador Perez leaves the yard, and they add a run. It's 6-0. And now it's Salvador Perez to the plate. It was a homer for him back in the 5th. Just a solo shot, but an swing and a high fly ball. That one out towards left center field. Way back there. In one, hops off the wall. Should be extra bases. Rosario with a relay throw. Not in time. He's safe.
So look at him and determine.
Oh, this one high and deep. Way back there. Pulls it in on the warning track.
Slider right there. And I think the key for pitchers and what hitters don't want to see is if a pitcher misses with that pitch, that he misses off the edge of the strike zone rather than in the middle of the strike zone. And
That one laced to center and a base hit.
For the night, don't have to think twice. I'll be oh so nice. I have to think twice. I'll be here for the night. Don't have to think twice. I'll be oh so nice. I have to think twice. I'll be here for the night. Travel far, moving with the seasons. Go to Panama, then up to Ibiza. Didn't take that long. Had no time for weeping. Fingernails like claws on my clothes. You keeping. You'll store your bag. Think it had a reason. Can't remember shit, but I got a feeling. Play you all my songs and I'm blown out. Speaker, did we work it up? Can't remember either. Running in circles, not feeling okay. Act like imposters, we playing all day. Last night we talked all about holidays. One day we'll get all this, then get away. Tonight, don't have to think twice. I'll be oh so nice. I have to think twice. I'll be here for the night. Don't have to think twice. I'll be oh so nice. I have to think twice. I'll be here for the night. Take it back. No, gonna have a heart attack. No, don't go, gonna spend the night with you. Hey, nothing maybe you can do. Hey. Running in circles, not feeling okay. Act like imposters, we playing all day. Last night we talked all about holidays. One day we'll get all this, then get away. Don't have to think twice. I'll be oh so nice. I have to think twice. I'll be here.